it's good to see a few of you have made it out of your turkey comas. We come here tonight on this Shabbat following Thanksgiving as we envision the world not as it is, but as it could be, as we long for it to be. We tell the stories of Thanksgiving and pilgrims coming together, and we know that that story isn't necessarily true. And for many, this is a painful time as well. This is a time when we think of the world not as it is, but as we want it to be. We think of a world where everyone can be together as one, where no one's worrying about what will come in the future. And this is a time where we're living with great uncertainty in our midst. So let's take a moment now before we go into Shabbat to think about what that world could be, that world of complete joy, that world of complete harmony, and contemplate just for a moment on what we could do to try and make that world a reality.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Antietam. I'm Dave Snyder. I'm the first vice president here. It is my pleasure to invite Barbara Fisherman up for the lighting of the Shabbat candles. The prayers for the lighting of the Shabbat candles can be found on pages 2 and 3 of your prayer book. Shabbat Shalom.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvoto v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue with Lechun Aranana on page 12.
Lechun Aranana, Lechun Aranana, Lechun Aranana l'Adonai. Lechun Aranana, Lechun Aranana, Lechun Aranana l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, l'Suri Sheinu Nikadma Bana B'Toda. Naria, Naria, l'Suri Sheinu B'Zmirot Naria Lo. Lechun Aranana, Lechun Aranana, Lechun Aranana l'Adonai. 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 Next page, page 13. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. long. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Shol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
Page 20.
Lechanori likrat kala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Lechanori likrat kala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Yishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litzehilah. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor haberacha. Merosh mikerem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavat chila. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech hir melucha kumitzehi mitoch ha'apecha. Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha vehu yachamo alayich chemla. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Hina'ari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei tifartecha mi. Al yad ben Yishai beit halachi korba el nafshi ge'ala. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Lechanori likrat chala lenei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'ore kumi uri. Uri, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Ay, 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 lechanori, ay, 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 likrat kala, ay, 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 penei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshi velo tikalmi, מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונשמתה יראתי לה, איי 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 לחדורי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת נקבלה, והיו למשיסה שוסייך, ורחקו כה מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כמסוס חתן על כלה, איי 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 לחדורי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת נקבלה, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריסי, אל ירעיש בן פרסי, ונשמחה ונגילה, איי 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 לחדורי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת נקבלה, בואי בשלום עצרת פעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, איי 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 לחדורי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת נקבלה, איי 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 לחדורי, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביום איכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם ועלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
We rise in either body or spirit for the Barhu on page 28.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over. This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravi.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, Hukumenu nasiach bechukecha, Benismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki hem chayenu, Be'orech yameinu, Uvahem nege yomam v'layla, Nege yomam v'layla. Be'ahavatcha al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'b'lechtecha v'derech u'b'shokbecha u'b'tumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yedecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We join together on the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Tehilot, O Sefele, O Sefele. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, Bukei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, Bukei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zezeli anu ve'ameru Adonai imlo leolam leolam va'ed. Yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 dai. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu, Leshalom.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Page 44.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam leolam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashevi Shabbat vayinafash. Adonai sfatai tiftach. Adonai sfatai Sfatai Tifta Adonai Sfatai Tifta Ufiagi Tehilatecha Ufiagi Tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ve'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Ve'Konei Hakol Ve'Zocher Kasei Avot Ve'Imahot U'Mevi Geulah Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Mitabocha B'Gevurot Umidomelach Melech Emit Umechayeh Umatzliach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah le'achayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kdoshim b'chol yom yalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue now with Tfilat Lev, the personal and private prayer of the heart, either using what's in your Siddur up until page 63, or more importantly, the words inscribed upon your hearts, after which you may be seated.
Oh, say shalom bimromha, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Yai-da-da-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-da-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-da-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-da-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Oh, say shalom bimromha, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen.
I've heard it said multiple times today, if not a few dozen times in the past week, that we are living with a lot of uncertainty in our lives, that we're not quite sure what the future may bring. We are seeing a rise in anti-Semitism. Just a few weeks ago, we saw neo-Nazis marching in the streets of Columbus, Ohio. My father, of blessed memory, was from Cleveland. He would remind me at this point that nothing good has ever come out of Columbus, and this would be part of the evidence. We live here in New Brunswick surrounded by an immigrant community that also feels threatened at what tomorrow may bring. There are a lot of us that are sitting with the unpredictable nature of the world. We go through moments in our life where we believe that there is certainty around us, that we know what tomorrow will bring. And then we go through moments of our life when things feel flipped on their head, whether because of politics or because of personal events, a diagnosis, an illness, an ailment, sudden loss in the family. We go through life believing that we know where things are going. And then there are times when we are reminded that we don't always know and that anything can happen. I see a lot of that reflected in this week's Torah portion, Parshat Toldot. This is the next phase of stories that come through in the life of Isaac. Isaac and Rebekah have two kids, Jacob and Esau. For those of you who don't know, they don't have the best of relationships with one another. Esau is known as being a hunter, a guy's guy, somebody who will go out and hunt and bring back food and game. And Jacob is known as being a homebody, somebody who cooks, somebody who gathers, somebody who stays close to base. At the beginning of this week's Torah portion, Esau comes back home starving in need of food, and Jacob withholds food for the birthright, that Esau gives him for a few lentils. Later on in our story, Jacob tricks his father to getting Esau's blessing. Esau was born into this world believing that as the firstborn son, he had a certain trajectory. By the end of this Torah portion, he was left with nothing, pleading with his father, I know you gave away my blessing to Jacob, but don't you have anything left for me? Don't you have one blessing left? The cry of a boy who suddenly realized his life was going to be different. Rebekah tells Jacob, you've got to flee for your life because Esau might kill you. Here's Rebekah giving birth to both boys at the beginning of this portion. Could she have possibly have predicted that by the end she would be helping one son get a blessing from his brother, then telling him to flee for his life? And there is Jacob at the end of this Torah portion. At the beginning, the epitome of being a homebody, and at the end, in the wilderness, running for his life, uncertain of where that next bowl of lentil soup will come from or what the future may bring. At the beginning of this Torah portion, great certainty, and at the end, great mystery. I use this Torah portion to think about what's happening in the world around us, because oftentimes we want to be told that it's all going to be okay, that if it's not okay, the story's not over yet, that everything will be fine. The answer is, truly, we don't know. We don't know what will happen in the world. We don't know if this ceasefire will continue. We don't know if we will get the hostages back. We don't know if there will be peace in the Middle East. We don't know if there will be peace in our homes. We don't know if 4 or 5 months from now there will be ICE raids across the synagogue as there were 8 years ago. We just don't know. But looking ahead in our Torah, when Jacob is running through the wilderness, he finds a place to rest, and he uses a rock as a pillow. And he has this dream of angels going up and down a ladder, and at the end of it he says, God was in this place and I didn't even know it. It didn't alter the outcome of what was going to happen, but it made him feel less alone. On Shamuth, this sanctuary, this building, this community is where we are reminded that we are with God and we're with one another. And even when we don't know what's going to happen in the future, we do know that we have one another to help guide us through the mysteries that lie ahead. That we have one another to be able to respond to life's uncertainties. When Immigration, Custom Enforcement, ICE, were picking up people across the street, we became a sanctuary congregation. And we helped bring support, and we were part of Dyer that responded rapidly to cases like that in our community. When food insecurity increased dramatically during COVID, we started making sandwiches on a daily basis for Elijah's Promise, making over 75,000 sandwiches within just a few short months. We know that when life gets unpredictable, we as a community don't ask, why is this happening to us? Rather, what can we do? There is no meaning in life's uncertainties of why things happen. Very rarely do we get the answer to why something bad is happening to us. In the case of Jacob and Esau, well, it kind of manifested between the two of them. But knowing why this is happening between Jacob and Esau doesn't help bring meaning or closure to either one of them. What brings closure and meaning to them and to us is by asking, now that this is happening, what do we do to find sanctity in our lives? What do we do to find wholeness? How do we respond to life's unpredictability? We don't know what the answers will be because the events haven't happened yet. But if we remind ourselves to be asking this question constantly, so what do I do now? That's how we are going to navigate whatever storms confront us in the year ahead, whatever storms confront us in the years, plural, ahead. Because the truth is, every year has been uncertain. Every year, as far as I can remember, has possessed new challenges for us, whether a war in the Middle East, or COVID, or another war in the Middle East, or what's happening in the country with homelessness, with pandemics, with illness, with all sorts of things. There has never been a normal year. What has been normal is how we respond with kindness and with holiness to one another so we can find our way through the uncertainty. That we can be our best selves, and by being our best selves and being true to our faith and our heritage, we will find wholeness in the years ahead. Shabbat Shalom.
Modim hanachnu lach. You are our God, rock of our life. Modim hanachnu lach. You are our God, shield of salvation, forever and ever. Modim anachnu lach forever. Morning, noon, and night, modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. We sing your praises, we sing your praises. Modim anachnu lach. Compassionate one, merciful Lord, forever and ever. Modim anachnu lach forever. Morning, noon, and night, modim anachnu lach. Our lives are in your hands, our souls are in your keeping. Your miracles surround us day by day. Our lives are in your hands, our souls are in your keeping. Your never-ending love has always, never-ending love has been our home. We will never stop praising your name. We will never stop praising your name.
On this Shabbat Eve, as we join together as one congregation to celebrate creation, the joy of life and living, we turn our thoughts to those in our community for whom life has become precarious because of health or hospitalization. I want to invite you to either say the name of someone you are thinking of aloud or find in our service sheet the name of a congregant you'd like to say a prayer for. And say their names as I look around the sanctuary. O God of healing, we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers together with the prayers of those who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you place within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and their families. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. As together we say, Amen. We continue now with a special prayer for the redemption of our hostages found in our trifold brochure. Our God, the one who raised Joseph up from the pit, be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in time of trouble. Send complete rescue and full redemption to all those held captive by the enemy. Strengthen their spirit and bring them our prayers, that they are protected from all harm. Implant understanding in the heart of the enemy, that we may return the captives in wholeness of body and spirit. Grant wisdom to the Israeli Defense Forces, that they may secure freedom for the captives without loss of life. Grant strength of spirit and courage of heart to all the children of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, to release bonds of captivity and allow us all to live in freedom. They shall call upon me, and I shall answer them. I will be with them in distress. I will rescue them and honor them. Amen. We continue on page 282 as we rise in either body or spirit for Elena.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
Yesh kochavim shoram megia arza. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those whose families are observing the Shloshim. We remember Kelly Waybright, wife of Randy, daughter of Vicky and sister of Jessica and Tara, and niece of Mark Zaccardo and Genevieve Frace. And remember Florence Goldman Berlin, wife of Norman of blessed memory, mother of Karen and John of blessed memory, Julie of blessed memory, and Denise Lauren, and stepmother of Lisa and Thomas, Lori and Scott, Andrew and Kara, grandmother to 14 and great-grandmother to 1. I also want to add the name of a mentor of mine, Rabbi Jonathan Stein, who passed away last Shabbat. He was a former president of the CCAR. He taught my second-year practical rabbinics class, and he was my supervisor, my field mentor when I worked for him for 4 years at Temple Shari Tefillah in New York City. He was the rabbi while I was the rabbinic intern. He taught us in my second year, I will never forget this, second year practical rabbinics class, which is where they teach you how to do the things that school doesn't teach you. That list has gone a little bit longer in the last couple of years. But I said, what is the key to being a good congregational rabbi? What do you need to love? People were raising their hands. You need to love Torah. You need to love Talmud. You need to love teaching. You need to love preaching. He said, no, you don't need any of that. You need to love Jews. And if you don't love Jews but love Judaism, it isn't going to matter one little bit of difference. In order to be a good rabbi, you need to love Jews. And he was a rabbi's rabbi who loved every single Jew he met and did wonderful things for the CCR in our movement. We also remember those who died at this season in years past, whom we've taken into our hearts with our own. If you're joining us online to say Kaddish for a loved one, I want to invite you to say their names aloud at home. And if you're here in person to say Kaddish for a loved one, I invite you to say their names as I look around the sanctuary. Zichronam livracha. May all their names and memories only be for a blessing. Want to invite all the mourners, if able, to rise for Kedusha Tom, Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal, Vikadash, Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
Bialma divrach hirote, Viamlich malchute, B'chayechon, Viomechon, V'chaye dekol Beit Yisrael, Bagala Visman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Olamei Omaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu, Leila Min Kol Birchata V'shiata, Tush B'chata V'nechamata, Damiran B'yama V'imru, Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Amen.
May the source of peace bestow peace to all who mourn and be a source of comfort for all who are bereaved, as we say, Amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'imeru. Amen.
Just a few brief announcements before we conclude our service and join together in Lippman Hall for Kiddush and Oneg together. First of all, a very big thanks to Erev Chazan, almost Cantor, Philip Fisherman, for joining us up on the bima and leading us in song and prayer. It is always an unbelievable joy to have you back home leading services with me, and I look forward to it every single time. A few announcements, because it's on Sheamith and we very rarely have anything going for us. We still need a few volunteers for our Interfaith Men's Shelter from December 20th to 29th. If you're interested in being a volunteer or helping with cooking or any number of things to help our guests at our shelter, please reach out to Maurice Rosenstrauss. We're always loving to have an extra hand or two around. Team B'Teavon is requesting turkeys for Elijah's Promise Christmas dinner, where we're cooking dinner for close to 300 people, if not a few more. So if you happen to have a extra turkey lying around after Thanksgiving, maybe you forgot about it, maybe you got an extra one from ShopRite, bring it on in on Monday and we'll put it in the deep freezer so we can make dinner for Elisha's Promise, the local food shelter for Christmas. Our Anshe-Ameth Community Development Wishing Wall is now accepting donations. I believe all of the gifts that we've committed ourselves to buying have been picked. Please return those gifts by December 9th so we can sort and wrap all of those gifts. Next, our next Shabbat dinner, Friday, December 6th at 7 o'clock service, with a dinner following it with junior choir singing. Please RSVP as soon as you can. Early bird prices end on Wednesday, so if you haven't RSVP'd yet for dinner, please go ahead and do so. Then, come Saturday night for trivia night here at Anshe-Ameth as part of our Year of Fun. It should be a great time. It's 6:30, Saturday, December 7th. You can go online to figure out how to sign up for trivia night. And then 2 weeks later, we have latkes and vodkas, which I think speaks for itself. Erev Chazan?
That trivia night sounds really fun.
Come back.
That's tempting.
We are going to finish with the singing of Sanctuary, which you can find on the monitors in front of you in the room.
Please rise.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary. sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. In thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Heve mitalmidan shel Aaron, ohev shalom v'rod ev shalom, ohev et briot u'makarban l'Torah. Be a disciple of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing peace, loving all people and drawing them closer to Torah. Amen and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.